On the last day of March 2023, the government passed 3 tax bills, including the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, and the Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill. What do Ghanaians have to say about these new taxes? Join me as I found out from people whether they support their government or not.
Well, I think there's more the government must do or can do to enhance the development of the country, because already there is an existing crisis here and there. So I'm of the view that the current taxes that is trying to implement, in fact trying to put in place, it will not help the citizens because we're already bleeding. So we want to plead with the government that they should rather look for other sources of revenues to sort of come on board again, to restructure the country again. But adding up to what is going on currently, I mean, it's quite ambiguous. They are doing well, but then we are asking that they should up their games so that at least they can also see to the needs of the citizen, because everyone is bleeding. There's so much crisis everywhere. Wherever you pass, I mean, people are complaining here and there. So we are pleading with the government. They shouldn't add up to our crisis, but they should rather leverage it or probably decrease it, and then the country will be a lively place to all, I mean, live and enjoy.
The tax is too much. It's too much. The government is taking too much tax on this e-levy, toll booths. Like, it's too much. Like, and even the money, if they get it, at the end of the day, we don't even know what they use it for. It's just MPs getting new car, the government going outside, and he's even going for loan. Like, who does that? Also, where the tax money, where they take go? Like, on the other, it's too much, madam. That one there is too much. So what are you media doing about it? Like we there, you know, if you do not know, them talk on their head. He talk at them, they pay. We don't have a say. After we voted, we put them in power, and it's not like we can overthrow him. It's not possible. Like, so it's too much.
New taxes. So we the banner in case we the buy my papa bia and kabebwa. Na kamu find my papa bia there. Me to me the boy. Even if two are more no, maybe two by example. Two so many years. Time swakana ye G2 no. Minim some of the year bibi. Some of the year kwano. But still year kwano still adding. A kwano still zana ye. Kwano nye still year kwano was possible. And the ma unko forwarding any accident in that year. It is some of the baba. Na baby papa. A kwano say no. Much media ya. And baby boy na. Bamu fanya baby papa na boy na. Then say. Reason behind somebody tax ni baba na tax nso bebre akuye tax no dosu na mba twa na aba like quantity be do some level be a ma ya nyina betuma twa na ye be proof e wo ma anka be boy
once I say government no nyomo dia ba be boy ko ade a me support so once I be develop the country. Because you know, a country in the year, it's a bit developed country in the year, support. But once in developed country in the year, because if the economy is like a year, so we are sure that they are also doing their best possible best to say if you are the year.
That's in the year. We say that's in the year. Adibia, we hear, but we say Adibia na. Oh, fine. What I say? And to test in the future, nobody will say we are on so. Let's say Tobu to Kramoje, Tobu to the Bia Kramoyesko, Kramoje, Tobu. What I say? And to test in the year. Was when you may be an also be a moditazo to so. Sanity.
Taxina, Omo for France, Eban. You want to buy a crown, you know, almost had a for France, Eban. No more to be there. Omutebi, Omudia, who there. Yeah, you almost got to know no more. And yet, Omuye, the Muntina told about the man. Some Bama man I had the Acoso. And then they say, Omuya, they are two Abamon say, Omunkotna. They did 2 minutes, they share Omunsa. Into Omundi Muaye. Omundi Amuaye. No, my bread. That's in the Omunt.
These are what some citizens are saying about the new taxes. Others are of the opinion that the taxes are introduced to generate income for the country, while others too are saying that the government is imposing too many taxes on the citizens. This is Diaba Eugenia reporting for GhanaWeb TV.
Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
I'm Hood Zakaria, District Finance Officer, Karga.
I'm Tiado Kurugu, District Connecting Director, Karga.
Alhassan Mohammed Awal, District Budget Analyst.
What's your DC?
He's still on his way coming.
Still on his way coming. Yes. So it means I have to keep you until he comes.
Sir, we can't carry on, sir.
Karaga, I want to see the DC, so you step down when he comes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bandai. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
I am Abdulsalam Hamza Fatao, this is Chief Executive.
Al-Hassan Abdullah, DCD.
Swaliu Baba Muhammad, District Finance Officer.
Dairi Idrisu, Internal Audit.
Thank you very much. You have one issue in the Common Fund report. It's about payment not fully accounted for. And for Kumbungu District, the payment is by 4 PVs. The total amount is 27,766.95 Ghana cedis. Amount accounted for is 24,482.95, leaving a balance of 3,314 Ghana cedis not accounted for. Have you now accounted for this balance?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm this?
Honorable Chair, the balance has been accounted for.
Let's go to the IGF report, paragraph 408. Honorable Ajay Boateng.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kumbungu, apparently you are very, very rich. What is the state of your finances? You have money, not so. You have money sitting with telecom companies, and you don't want to collect those monies. As much as 35,700. You don't need that money.
Yes, Honorable Chair, we need it. In fact, that was the pit of the COVID. So we sent several demand notices and reminders. So the people were not making it up. But for 2021, 2022, we were able to collect. And as of 2021, there had been changes of officers at those telecos. So they were saying they wanted to find out from their predecessors to get the records before they made those payments.
So has that payment been made now?
Not yet.
Why?
According to them, that they are still doing their investigation.
No. What the effort that you made in respect of those payments when the auditors came, subsequent to that?
Yes, that
you
is
were just writing letters to them.
And phone calls.
Demand notices.
And
take them to court and take your money. Telecom companies, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
They come and install those facilities in the assembly, and they don't want to pay. So take them to court.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Anyway, auditors, what can you say about that?
Honorable Chairman, the total amount that has been collected so far is 5,907.84 out of the 35,700.
They still have some outstanding to collect from them. I believe presently they will owe much more than what is there, because this was 2020 audit. So if you are in 2023, then it means that we have a lot more to collect from them. So Mr. Chairman, I suggest that they look at other means. They use the law to collect their monies.
Yes, I think the issue is about the MTN confirming the figure and then be willing and ready to make the payment to you. As you said, 2021, 2022, there's no problem with that. It means that there is no dispute over the figure. But this 2021 is what they are saying they need to confirm. But I don't understand a whole company like MTN should not be referring to the officers who were here to confirm. There must be a system in place to determine how much they owe which authority. It should not depend on who was here or who was there at that time. I'm surprised. So you have to do everything possible for them to pay the money. So that is your IGF, and that will be all for you. You have only one from IGF, one from Common Fund. So you are discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Let's have Myung. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Muhammad Samuel, Myang DC.
My name is Mustafa Adam, Coordinating Director.
I'm Wilson Anania, District Finance Officer.
Adam Isdin, Accountant.
Hussein Karim, Assistant Director 1.
Thank you very much. You are cited for unsupported payments, and the amount involved is 6,622 Ghana cedis from 4 PVs. The auditors are claiming that you did not support these PVs with the relevant document in the form of receipts, invoice, activity reports, statement of claim, etc. So for that matter, we should recover the money from the coordinating director and the finance officer. Have you been able to recover the money from the two officers?
Honorable Chair, no, please. The issue is that what we have were minutes of the committee, Fund Management Committee of the PWD, that were not attached at the time of the audit. The other one is about receipts of payments that were made to 16 PWDs who requested for support to farm. And the management committee agreed that instead of plowing for them, because they are scattered across the district, the money should rather be given to them so that at their local communities they can do the plowing and pay for the services. So the money was given to them. We had a list of the 16 PWDs, and they signed for the money, but the audit team was looking for receipts from tractor operator who did the service, but because they were distributed across the whole district, we couldn't use a single tractor operator to render the services for them because it would have been more costly. So, but the receipts, the minutes were cited and has since been given to the auditors for their verification. Thank you.
Auditors, can you confirm this?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm.
Let's go to the next one, ranking, paragraph 433, common fund.
Yeah, the infraction is that you bought fuel amounting to 21,900 Ghana cedis, and the auditors could not find any evidence of how the fuel was used. So they recommended that
the coordinating director, finance officer, and transport officer should refund that money. Have you refunded the money?
Honorable Chair, no, please.
Because actually the fuel was used for the purpose for which it was taken. The things that we didn't attach, which the auditors were looking for,
was a tally card. Actually, we designed a coupon from the office that was issued to the officers who were detailed on that activity to go to the fuel station and draw the fuel. And a book was put at the fuel station for them to record. But the advice was that instead of using the book, it's better we use the tally card because...
Who advised you to use tally cards to buy fuel?
The audit to record, not to buy, to record the drawing of the fuel
Do you know about logbooks, vehicle logbooks?
Yes.
Do you have some?
Yes.
What is the use of a vehicle logbook?
Yes, the logbooks were there, but at the fuel station, I think they were using motorbikes to do the rounds because it's environmental health officers, and they were monitoring across the whole district.
So they cannot use logbooks?
Motorbikes, I think the practice for now is that we don't have a logbook for the motorbike. It's only the vehicles that we use logbooks.
Auditors, are you satisfied with the explanations?
Honorable Chair, we are satisfied. We have looked at all the documentations, including the tally cards and then the logbooks, and we can confirm that the fuel was used for official duties.
And the man just said they don't use logbooks for motors, and then you are saying you have looked at the logbooks.
The logbooks are for the vehicle, but the tally cards for the motor.
Okay, thank you.
Cycle, so.
Let's move on to the IGF reports. You have one issue, that is Mion District. You made 75 payments, totaling 115,735.14 Ghana cedis outside the GiveMe platform. Now the recommendation is that the coordinating director and the finance officer should seek assistance from the GiveMe Secretariat to address the challenges. Have you done that?
Honorable Chair, yes, we have.
Kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Hajia Aisha Seidu, the MC for Savlugu.
I am Alhaji Mohammed Rufai, Municipal Coordinating Director.
Lawrence Ajekum is my name, Municipal Budget, Savlugu.
Ahmed Tijani Idriso is my name, Municipal Finance Officer, Savlugu Municipal Assembly.
Mohammed Usman is my name, Internal Auditor, Savlugu Municipal Assembly.
All right, thank you very much for coming. You have one issue in the Common Fund report, paragraph 426, Honorable Kisi.
Thank you, Chairman. This was a project of rehabilitating a dining hall for School of the Deaf at Savlugu. Prior mobilization was paid for, but as at the time of visitation, the work wasn't done. So the key question here is, after 3 years, what's the status? Has that work been completed? Is the place in use? And do you have appropriate documentation to prove?
Honorable Chair, the project has been completed and is in use. We have pictures to that effect.
Audit Service, can we verify this?
Honorable Chair, the project has been completed and is in use. We even have pictures here.
Chairman, that'll be it.
All right. Let's move on to the IGF report. You have one issue there also. Paragraph 404, Honorable Aka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You have uncollected rent to the tune of 28,155. I would like to know if you've been able to collect them. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So far, Honorable Chair, we've been able to recover 9,380 from the outstanding debt. A number of the officers are no more at the station. So we have made efforts to reach out to them by writing to their parent organizations. Those who are still in the service, those who are in local government service, we have given their details to the head of local government service, including their staff numbers, and then their records, to track their stations and then help us to recover the amount. But those who are outside local government service, we have written to their parent organization and make them follow up.
Mr. Coordinating Director.
Yes, sir.
This was in 2020. 2020.
Yeah.
So according to you, have now written to them.
No, it's not now. Pardon?
When this statement was made, I think they were still around for about 3 years now. When the audit report came out, it has been about 3 years now. I don't think that all of them had left the place. So why are you saying that they have left the place and they find it difficult to get them?
Yeah. Honorable Chair, I think after the time that the report was out, a good number of them had left the station. And those that we are able to track, that is those who are in local government service, they are the ones we are talking about. But those who are not in local government service and serving in subvented organizations, we have written to their parent organizations at the regional and national level.
Any response from them? Response from the letters we have written?
Not much, sir.
All right, auditors, can you confirm they have been able to collect a third of the amount? That is 9,000.
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that a total of 9,380 cedis has been recovered, leaving a balance of 18,735.
All right, I'll leave that to the discretion of the chairman. Thank you.
Coordinating Director, you gave some answer to the question by the member, and your answer was that at the time the report was out, a number of the occupants had left the districts. Are you happy with that answer you gave?
Honestly, not.
Yeah, you shouldn't be happy. If you should sit down not doing your work, waiting for the audit report to come out to tell you what you should do, before you begin to look for those people, it's a shame. Why should we allow these people to leave the district in the first instance? If truly you are doing your work, then you should know that this number of people are owing the assembly for rent. You don't wait for the report of the auditor-general to tell you that these people are owing. So how are you going to collect this money now? Since they have left, you have written to their mother organizations. I'm not sure we are even getting a feedback from them. How do you collect the rest of the money?
Honorable Chairman, I think we are making efforts, and if we are not getting the appropriate response, I think we'll resort to the last. We'll go to the last resort by seeking legal advice to see and track them and then recover the money.
You don't even know the people. Do you know them?
We do. Pardon?
You don't even know the people. Do you know them?
So
how are you going to institute legal action?
Since I inherited that, so but that.
No. How are you going to inherit the institute the legal action? Because you said that will be the last resort.
Yes, sir. When we contact their parent organizations,
yes,
definitely. Like for now, I personally went to that's one of the land commission. I went to land commission and I approached the regional lands officer. He admitted that the officer has left and that he's making effort to get him. So we sent him the letter and asked that the next time that we come and we are not getting the response, then we will advise ourselves.
So now, how are you doing it to ensure that what happened do not repeat itself? So that people, before they leave, make sure that they pay all the money they owe the assembly. What measures have you put in place now?
Yeah, currently, Honorable Chair, we had a team, and that is a team in the office that is currently tracking the payments. And since then, we have not experienced default payments since 2020.
You see, if all of you are working well, there will not be the need for this committee coming here. Because the auditor will not have anything to report on. We are working towards that day. That a whole year, auditors will not find anything to report on. It will be good, pal. Or you also enjoy coming here? Aja, you enjoy coming here?
No.
All right, so we can only encourage you to ensure that you put in all the effort to retrieve the money from these people. Coordinating director. So that'll be all for Savologo. You are discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Nanumba South. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
you have only one issue in the IGF reports, and also borders on the rents. Yours involve 23 tenants or occupants, and the total amount is 2,740. Have you recovered the money from them?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Gusheu, do you have the DC? Have you taken the oath?
Gusheu District Chief Executive taking the oath. Okay. Clerk, administer the oath for the DC for Pandai and then Karaga.
I, Mohammed Sani, swear by the Almighty God, that the evidence I shall give before this committee, touching the matter in issue, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you very much. We'll do Pandai. Now, kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
My name is Atta Emmanuel Kofi Tatablata, the DC for Pandai.
Dama Momoni, District Coordinating Director.
Imur Zakaria, Internal Auditor.
Abdullah Yusuf, District Planning Officer.
Mustafa Mohamed Kamal, District Works Engineer.
Thank you very much for coming. So, in the Common Fund report, you are cited on paragraph 473, failure to account for auction sales. Failure to account for auction sales. The total amount involved is 50,815.20 Ghana cedis. Now, the auditors have quoted Regulation 37 of the Public Financial Management Regulation 2019, LI 2378, which states that the Ghana Revenue Authority and other covered entities shall ensure that tax and non-tax revenue and other monies owed to the Ghana Revenue Authority and other covered entities received are within 48 hours paid at an office of the Bank of Ghana or any other commercial bank with which the government has transit account, unquote. Now, they however noted that Mr. Francis Kweku Yeboah of Ament Mat, who was appointed as an auctioneer, failed to pay the net auction proceeds of 8 vehicles and a grader of Pandai District Assembly, totaling 50,815.20 into the designated bank account at Bank of Ghana. The state has been denying non-tax revenue to the tune of that amount. The auditors have recommended to the management of the Assembly to pursue the auctioneer to pay the amount to the designated account. Have you been able to do that?
Honorable Chair, we have been able to do that.
Auditors, can you confirm that
the total amount has been paid to the non-taxable? Yes.
The date of the letter
Honorable Chair, I think for about a month.
Are you sure?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
What was the auction?
The auction was done in October.
October of which year?
October 2021.
October 2021.
No, 2020, Honorable.
October 2020.
Yes.
When did the auditors come? When did they come to audit?
They came in November to do the audit.
November 2020.
Yes, Honorable.
Auditors, what date was the payment made by the auctioneer? Do you have the date?
Honorable Chair, the earliest, I mean, they were in 3 tranches. The earliest was 5th November 2020, and then the latest was 13th July 2021.
So the money was not with him for only 1 month. Coordinating Director, have you seen it now? It wasn't with him for only 1 month. You said only 1 month. But he made the final payment in July 2021. You told me that the auction was done in October 2020.
Honorable, I was referring to the first payment that he made.
No. I ask you, how long has money been with him? How long has the money been with him? It's over 6 months. You see? Here, when you are here, you've taken an oath, speak the truth. We have different ways of getting you. Let's move to the next one. Paragraph 480. It's also on non-functioning boreholes. So for Kwandai District, there are this company called Pama Prestige Company Limited that drilled 25 boreholes in communities within the Kwandai districts at a total cost of 483,000 Ghana cedis. And this contract was supposed to be completed within 6 calendar months. The auditor, however, noted that a visit to the construction site on 5th February 2021, that 9 of the boreholes constructed at a total cost of 145,080 Ghana were not functioning. The project locations are Baluni, Panchina, Pabre, Wasawasa Junction, Opundo, Kumdi, Mimpeasam, Sambutido, and Lumujado Njuru. Have I pronounced them well?
That's it.
Good. You have to mark me. Now, the auditors have recommended that management should engage the services of hydrologists to carry out adequate feasibility study before drilling of boreholes. Now, what is the state of these 9 boreholes? Are they functioning now?
Honorable Chair, they are all functioning now.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
the last time, the auditors came for verification,
Okay.
and we took them to those boreholes.
Good. Auditors, can you confirm this?
Honorable Chair, we inspected them on 10th November 2022, and all of them have been fixed and are functioning.
Good. The last one under the common fund is paragraph 490. Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Kwandai, you awarded a contract to one Nankojaniye Construction Limited for the construction and furnishing of 3-unit classroom block with ancillary facilities at Lonto. And according to the auditors, even though the value of work done was 192,200, the value of work done was rather 166,792.30 Ghana cedis. You ended up paying 192,200, and that is in excess of 25,407.70. The auditors are recommending that the said amount should be recovered from the 3 officers involved. That's the coordinating director, the finance officer, and the works engineer. Have you been able to recover the said amount?
Honorable Chair, that has been done.
Auditors, are you able to confirm that the excess amount has been recovered, the 25,407.7?
Honorable Chair, it was not a recovery, but rather the furniture has been supplied to the school.
So are you satisfied?
Yes, we are satisfied.
So that will be all for Pandai. You are discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Let's now have Karaga. And kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Idris Mohamed Sani, District Chief Executive.
My name is Tiado Kurubu, District Coordinating Director.
I'm Hudi Zakaria, District Finance Officer.
I am Abubakar Al-Hassan, Internal Auditor.
Al-Hassan Mohamed Awa, Budget Analyst.
In a common fund report, you are cited in paragraph 415. Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, 415 Karaga, you made payment of 3,170 for the supply of electrical equipment without written authorization from the certain member of parliament. Has this been rectified?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it has been rectified, presented for auditors' perusal. Thank you.
Audit service, are you able to confirm?
Honorable Chair, the approval was obtained from the member of parliament.
Let's go to the IGF report. Paragraph 396, Honorable Sampson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unpresented payments, 22,505. At the close of the audit, you were not able to present according to auditors, you failed to ensure proper maintenance of financial records at the close of the audit. So you were asked to recover the money. Have you done that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it was done and submitted to the auditors for verification.
You mean after the audit, you got the
yes, Mr. Chairman.
Presented to them for verification?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Auditors, did you receive any documents after the audit for verification, and are you satisfied?
Honorable Chairman, the amount was refunded. The total amount has been refunded.
Finance.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Money was refunded. You just tell me that you paid the money. You are talking of documents. Okay, that's well done. Chairman,
okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That'll be all for Karaga.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You are discharged. Let's have Gusheu. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
I'm Baba Zakaria, Minister of Finance Officer, Gushegu.
I'm Osman Musa, the Coordinating Director, Gushao.
I'm Yaja Daune Robert, Municipal Chief Executive, Gushao.
I'm Noel Ahutu Adeti Noel, Municipal Engineer, Gushego.
I'm Yahya Sulemana, Internal Audit.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. So we'll go straight to the Common Fund report. You are cited in paragraph 419. Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I will also try my best to pronounce the name correctly so that I can also get one smoke. Gushao.
You have tried.
Gushao Municipal Assembly. You have 4 of your projects at various stages of completion. And these projects have either been abandoned or delayed. The first one is a community center at Gushao. And this particular project has been abandoned for 112 months. The next one is a chip compound at Zanteli. Another smoke for me. It's also been abandoned for 54 months. The third one is a rehabilitation of Presidential Lodge at Gushao, also abandoned for 54 months. And then the third one is a 3-unit classroom block at Nawu Hugu, also abandoned for 6 months. First of all, let me find out what are the sources of funding for these projects. Is it from the District Assembly Common Fund?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The projects, if we look at the community center is a common fund project. And like you said, you call it a political project. Indeed, we were trying to see how we could resolve the political problem before we would see what we would do about it. And
Chairman, I didn't say that. I'm not aware of the nature of the project.
I might not hear you well. I thought I heard something.
No,
like
I
that.
didn't.
You have calculated your mind on political projects before you came here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry for. Yeah. As at now, the community center has been captured in our 2023 budget and plan for execution. We are hoping that when funds drop, we'll continue with the project. With regard to the Zantili Chips compound, because of the dwindling nature of funds flow from the common fund, it's also a common fund project. So what we have done is to solicit funding outside the Assembly's own sources. We wrote to Rotary Club, who have expressed interest in helping us to complete the Chips compound. And we have given them the proposal. We have submitted the proposal to the auditors, and then we are hoping that very soon we hear from them so that that project will be completed under common fund. Then the Hugo 3-unit classroom block is also a common fund project, and work is vigorously going on. As at now, it is 95% complete. I think what is left is just painting and some minor works. So hopefully we shall deliver this project before the end of the year. Then the presidential lodge is now fully refurbished. And as per the recommendation of the auditors, we have now allocated the presidential lodge to some number of staff who are now occupying it. Thank you very much.
The presidential lodge, is it just by name or is a real presidential lodge? I'm wondering why, you know, if it's a presidential lodge, you would have the audacity to allocate it to ordinary people like us.
Indeed, I think that in the wisdom of the auditors, they felt that because it was just standing as a presidential lodge, the use is very, very minimal, and the deterioration is fast. That's why it deteriorated to an extent that getting it to use was a problem. So they felt that we should allocate it to, we should refurbish and allocate it to staff so that if it's in use, the deterioration will not occur again. And that's exactly what we did. Thank you.
Then maybe going forward, you may have to rename it. But are you abiding by the auditor's recommendation that you should prioritize? Because I'm wondering if you haven't completed, you know, the project that you have committed yourselves to. I'm wondering why you should be adding on. So maybe going forward, I just want to find out whether you are now abiding by the auditor's recommendation that you should prioritize your projects.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are now seriously looking at the ongoing projects, trying to complete it before we start new projects. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Auditors, before you come in, auditors, are you able to confirm all what they have said, the various stages of completion and the efforts they have made so far?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the community center has been captured in the 2022 budget, and then the CHIPS compound bills of quantity has been submitted to Rotary Club, and then with the Nauhugu 3-unit classroom, it's 95% complete, and then the presidential lodge has been allocated to staff of the assembly. Thank you.
Okay.
Chairman, having worked for the president as a presidential staffer before, my curiosity has been piqued. And I want to know whether this was meant to truly be a presidential lodge or it is just a name given to the facility.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Indeed, the name Presidential Lodge is given to the facility, but in actual fact, ever since it was put up, the President has never slept there, except that ministers of state have come and they have lodged at the place. So the Presidential Lodge is just a name given to it to accommodate some special guests of the Assembly. Thank you.
Thanks for the clarification. The chairman has pronounced the name of your district the best so far since we started the sitting in this northern sector. That is the name he pronounced in the real traditional way. And I'm sure you have been impressed.
We are honored by that.
So, on your behalf, I've informed him that you will reward him with a customized smoke.
Thank you very much. We shall do that.
Therefore, letting you know.
He deserves more than that.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. My colleague is protesting that he also did well. So include him as well.
Okay, we hear, sir.
They are adopted sons of Gushao.
I hope he's not a bride.
I'll take a miniature one. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Paragraph. But before we go to the next one, coordinating director, your mind has been preoccupied with political projects. Can you define a little bit of that political project you mean? What made the community center a political project?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. In fact, I thought I heard something like that. My mind was not preoccupied with it. It's just that I thought I heard something like that. So I wanted to give an answer that I felt would be acceptable, Mr. Chairman.
But is the project actually a political project?
It is an inherited project.
No.
It has been there for a very long time.
The question is it a political project?
No, Mr. Chairman.
What is a political project? Before you say no. What is a political project?
Mr. Chairman.
If you can define that this is not a political project, what is a political project?
Mr. Chairman, we at the local government level always have this problem of a project that transcends a regime, one regime to the other. Yeah. It suffers its own fate. And then we have that responsibility to ensure that we defend and put necessary things in place so that it will continue. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes there are issues that you have to resolve. So that is how this project suffered. But we have now gone beyond that. We have solved the problem.
Coordinating Director, thank you very much. You've made a profound statement. And what I'm reading from that is that those of you who work as public or civil servants at assembly, you always suffer when there's a regime change, where the new regimes do not always agree with you to continue with projects that were started by the previous regime. That is what I got from your explanation. How are you handling that?
Mr. Chairman, I think this issue is not new to all of us here. It's just that I'm trying to be factual about a problem that we all face, and the difficulty that we have as civil servants in dealing with such issues. We have to use diplomacy. Sometimes the questions that are asked about such projects are legitimate, and we have to provide the answers. But sometimes we are not able to provide the answers to the satisfaction of the incoming regime. And that's why sometimes there's some kind of reluctance to continue with it. But until that is done, you cannot begrudge the incoming regime from refusing to continue with it. But they are all projects that government's funds have been spent on, and they deserve completion. And until we make that point, we argue out, it is difficult to take it on board. But with this particular project, I think that we have gone beyond that. We have brought all the stakeholders on board, and they have all agreed that it's a good project that should continue. That is why it has found its way into the 2023 budget. Otherwise, it would have been a non-starter.
Thank you very much. The issue we are discussing is not peculiar to only Gusau. The other districts here and other regions of Ghana are suffering the same thing. And I see the challenge that you, the civil servant, face. Because you want, all the time, you are very careful of what to say so that you are not branded as a member of the previous regime. So it's a big challenge for you people. And we agree with you that you need to maneuver well. And because of that, sometimes you also hold some information back just to please your new bosses so that they can work with you. It's not easy for you. Anyway.
The next one is paragraph 423, refuse containers not delivered. The total amount is 265,937.5 Ghana cedis. Now, there was a service agreement signed between the Gusau District Assembly and Zoom Lion for the company to deliver 3 refuse trucks and 15 refuse containers to the assembly. However, the Zoom Lion Ghana Limited delivered only 9 containers and did not also replace 1 broken down refuse truck in spite of the several reminders. This resulted in the company operating with 2 trucks and 9 containers, though the administrator deducted a full amount of 265,937.5 Ghana cedis for the 5 quarters up to December 2020. Now, the recommendation is that management of the assembly should recover the amount of 265. Now, before I put a question to you, auditors, the amount 265, is it not for the entire 15 containers and 3 trucks? Auditors.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
So if 2 trucks have been supplied, the 3rd one was not fixed, and 9 containers were also supplied, why are you asking the Assembly to recover the entire 265 from the company? Auditor, this is your question.
Honorable Chair, as a matter of fact, I was just discussing this with the Secretariat, represented by Mr. Nunu.
Okay.
That we cannot say that the entire amount
should be recovered, yes.
Should be recovered, yeah.
You should work out how much has not been supplied. You demand for only that. You can't demand that the entire amount should be recovered, whilst the company provided or supplied part of the contract. So we should be mindful whenever we are making recommendations. Now, the Assembly, what have you done about this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What we have done is to go by the auditor's recommendation. We have written to Zoom Lion to pay back to the Assembly a total amount of 265,937.50. But we have also added in the letter for them to supply the rest of the containers that they haven't supplied and also replace the broken down one. We are yet to hear from them. They have not responded to us. But we have also written to the Common Fund Secretariat to stop deductions until this is done. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So has the Common Fund Administrator stopped the deductions? Or since you wrote, no deduction have been made, or no disbursement has been made to you?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, since we wrote, no deduction has been made yet, but we're thinking that we'll get a feedback from Common Fund Secretariat.
I think that the Common Fund, the company will not honor your request for a refund. The angle you should pursue should rather be the supplier of the rest of the equipment. The remaining 6 containers, and then the replacement of the broken down truck. That would be better.
Indeed, Mr. Chairman, as for the broken down container, they have replaced it.
No, the container?
They have replaced the broken down container.
Okay.
And they have promised to supply the rest of the containers. except that this one was not documented.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't mention it.
So pursue that angle rather.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman.
So that they replace they supply the remaining containers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now let's go to paragraph 429, Honorable Sampson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My issue here has to do with unaccounted stores. But the interesting aspect of it is that items were bought from the MP's common fund for distribution to disaster, wood affected disaster, roofing sheets and other things, and even ruminants. And the auditors are saying that when they bought the ruminants for other festival, they couldn't present receipts. I think that is animals, rams, and the items did not also pass through stores or whatever it is. But the main problem here is distribution lists. But before then, I don't know whether did the MP authorize for these items to be bought?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The MP authorized for it to be bought. The items were bought, and because of the nature of the items, they were delivered directly to the communities, and it was also an emergency situation. And so, but what happened was that retrieving the necessary documents. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, Chairman, with all apology, I think sometimes we are all confronted with these issues of pressure. And if the items were bought and they were given to the beneficiaries and the animals too, I wonder how you can go to the animal market and get a receipt. Chairman, I think we are in your hands for a ruling. I don't believe that the recommendation as to recover the money, I don't know to who, back to the MP or accounts of the coordinating director. They've supplied the items. The beneficiaries
but the documents,
is a list.
Have they been able to provide a list of distribution?
That is what the question. And because of that, because of the list of distribution, they are asking.
No, but let's look at how possible is it to provide list of distribution of 4,200 nose masks? Can you provide that?
4,200.
4,200 nose masks. Can you provide distribution list for 4,200 nose masks? It's not possible. COVID time.
Just like providing the list of those who were given documents. It's very difficult.
All right, so I think we should just move forward. So let's move to the IGF reports. And we have 3 infractions also there. The first one in paragraph 404, Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. We shall 45, this is about uncollected rent. And the amount involved is 4,700. Yes, 45 occupants of your residential accommodation, they owe that amount by way of non-payment of rent. First of all, let me find out, these occupants, are they staff of the assembly?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
If they are staff, what is the mode of collection?
Mr. Chairman, the staff are supposed to pay, walk to the finance office and pay by cash. Unfortunately, they are reluctant to do that until pressure is brought to bear on them.
If they are permanent staff, can't you deduct at source?
Mr. Chairman, they are permanent staff, but deducting at source would even be a tall order because they are on Controller and Accountant General's payroll. That would have to mean that we have to write to Controller and all that. But we feel that we can appeal to them once we see them almost on a daily basis. We can appeal to them to pay.
Anyway, so have you been able to recover the 4,700?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have been able to retrieve all that.
Auditors.
Honorable Chair, the 4,700 has been fully recovered.
Thank you very much. Your next one is unaccounted value books. And for Gusheo Municipal Assembly, there are 3 books involved. One issued to Dawuni Yaja, and then Dolugu John, and the last person in Yusufa Ga. These 3 people were issued with value book, and they have not accounted for them. Having been able to recover the books from them,
yes, Mr. Chairman, all the value books have now been recovered, and then the amount of money involved accounted for. Thank you.
Auditors, can you confirm this?
Honorable Chair, the value books have been submitted and verified, and the amount collected out of the value books have been examined and verified.
Good. So the last one for the Gusheo is on paragraph 416. Honorable Sophia.
Thank you, Chairman. 426. 426, Chairman. 416, that is IGF. IGF 416, sorry, Chairman. 416. Sorry, I'm almost there. $416. Paragraph 416, landed property and high value equipment without ownership documents. The auditors are saying that their review of the assets of 2 assemblies revealed that the management did not have title deeds and other relevant ownership documents to establish ownership of that's Gushegu 21 office blocks and residential buildings. And I think, let me take it again. Ownership of 52 office blocks and residential buildings and 32 vehicles. Motorbikes and items of equipment details are provided below. And Gushegu, yours is number of vehicles, motorbikes and equipment is 21. And number of buildings is 49. The auditors recommend that management of the assembly should establish a fixed assets coordinating unit to facilitate the acquisition and proper preservation of ownership documents. Have you complied to this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have complied to it. We now have the fixed assets coordinating unit, and we have a fixed assets register.
Auditors, please, can you confirm this to the committee?
Honorable Chair, a 5-member fixed asset coordinating unit has been put in place.
So are you okay with it?
Yes, we are satisfied.
That's all, Chairman. Thank you.
So that'll be all for Gusau Municipal Assembly. You are discharged.
Thank you very much.
Colleagues, we have come to the end of the...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We come to the end of the Municipal and District Assemblies report. So we'll be moving to the secondary schools. But let's have some 15 minutes break. 15 minutes break before we come back to the secondary schools. So we are coming back at 11:45. No, 11:50. Let's make it 11:50. Thank you.
On the last day of March 2023, the government passed 3 tax bills, including the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, and the Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill. What do Ghanaians have to say about these new taxes? Join me as I find out from people whether they support their government or not.
Well, I think there is more the government must do or can do to enhance the development of the country, because already there is an existing crisis here and there. So I'm of the view that the current taxes that is trying to implement, in fact trying to put in place, it will not help the citizens because we're already bleeding. So we want to plead with the government that they should rather look for other sources of revenues to sort of come on board again, to restructure the country again. But adding up to what is going on currently, I mean, it's quite ambiguous. They are doing well, but then we are asking that they should up their games so that at least they can also see to the needs of the citizen, because everyone is bleeding. There's so much crisis everywhere. Wherever you pass, I mean, people are complaining here and there. So we are pleading with the government. They shouldn't add up to our crisis, but they should rather leverage it or probably decrease it, and then the country will be a lively place to all, I mean, live and enjoy.
The tax will be too much. It's too much. The government is taking too much tax on this e-levy, toll booths. Like, it's too much. Like, and even the money, if they get it, at the end of the day, we don't even know what they use it for. It's just MPs getting new car, the government going outside, and he's even going for loan. Like, who does that? Also, where the tax money, where they take go? Like, on the other, it's too much, madam. That one there is too much. So what are you media doing about it? Like we there, you know, if you do not know, them talk on their head. You talk at them, they pay. We don't have a say. After we voted, we put them in power, and it's not like we can overthrow him. It's not possible. Like, so it's too much.
No taxes. So we the banner in case we the buy my papa bia and kabebwa. Na kamu find my papa bia there. Me to me the boy. Even if two are more no, maybe a tone by example. Tone so many years. Time Swakana, G-tone. Minim some of the year, baby, some of the year quino, but still year quino, still adding a quine still Zana, quining still year quine was possible, and the man uncle wedding, any accident in that year. It is a moody baba, now baby papa, a quine saying, much media, and baby na, but find be papa name boy and then say. Reason behind somebody tax ni baba na tax nso bebre akuye tax no dosu na mba twa na aba like quantity be do some level be a e ma ye nyina betuma twa na ye be proof e wo ma aka be boy
once as a government no no dia ba be boy kwan dia me support so once I be develop the country. Because you know, a country in the it's a bit developed country in the support. But once in developed country in the because if the economy na like a year, so me sure say they are also doing their best possible best to say if you buy them by year.
That's in the year. We say that's in the year. Adibia, but we say Adibia na. Oh, fine. What I say? And the test in the education, but they say we are so. Let's say Tobu to Kramoje, Tobu to the Bia Kramoyesko, Kramoje, Tobu. What I say? The test in the year. When you may be an also be a moditazo to so. Sanity.
Taxi now. Omode for France, Eban. You want the background, you know, almost had it for France, Eban. No more to be there. Omutebi, Omudia, who there. Yeah, you almost got to know no more. And yet, Omuye, the Muntina to about the man. Some Bama man I had the Acoso. And then they say, Omuya, they are to about mom say, Omunkotana. They did 2 minutes a day, a share Omunsa. Into Omundi Muaye. Omundi Amuaye. No, my bread.
These are what some citizens are saying about the new taxes. Others are of the opinion that the taxes are introduced to generate income for the country, while others too are saying that the government is imposing too many taxes on the citizens. This is Diaba Eugenia reporting for GhanaWeb TV.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now, back canocre. Susu sang pine, Pia want to Nambia, a man in quite baby.
Mommy, you can see about Kotoso. Pepoga, send me sick from Lebanon Finance. While Brian did the shade and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Exchange waiting in so ye. profitable. We should make promo code Dr. Like Menya £10, $10, and $10 Canadian dollars for the first transaction. What is send this guy download to Lemonade Finance.
Fans traveled all the way from the Volta region to come to Kumasi. What did it mean for you?
That I could say it's amazing. When I see them, I feel like crying. It's really touched my heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing one of Black Stars' new boys, Patrick Puzo. Patrick, welcome to GhanaWeb TV.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. How do you feel a day after Ghana's first match against Angola?
I think it was a great feelings to have our first win home here. Very great feeling.
And sitting on the bench when we weren't scoring any goal, what was running through your mind?
What I thought is the game is a tough game, and I think we could have scored some goals, but and it's frustrating if you don't score, and there's pressure on us, but I think we did our best and we get the late goal, so I think it's good for us.
How was the mood like when the goal came in the late hour?
I think it was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, let's say like 30 seconds to the end of the game and you score your winning goals is always marvelous feelings.
And since you guys came back, what has been the reaction you've been getting from family and friends?
I think it's positive. People, I mean, of course, when you are called for the national team, people try to motivate to give you encouragement. I think it's positive news.
Yeah. Let's talk about when you got this call up from Coach Q sitting. What was running through your thoughts, because you had already been called for the World Cup in the provisional squad, and now you got your second call up as well?
For me, I think it's a great opportunity for me. When he called me to come to the team, I think I was very much happy. And also, I think I deserve it because I've been in tough form for some years now. So I think it's a great feeling.
Would you say this is a dream come true to come into the national team?
Yes, this is my dream come true, to play for the senior national team. Yes. It's everyone's dream to play for the first team of the national team.
And you played for the youth side of Ghana. Tell us about that experience as well. Which year was that?
I remember 2015. I played in the New Zealand in the Under-20 World Cup. I think it's a great feeling. By then, I haven't traveled before. That's my first time traveling to Europe. Yeah, that's my first time traveling to Europe. So I think it's a great experience, and it gives me the courage and to keep going.
And in terms of that tournament, how far did you guys get to?
I think we were dropped. I think we were dropped early in the group. I think so.
What was your coach by then?
Celestete.
Do you still get in touch with him?
Not actually. Not actually. It belonged. So.
Yeah. Are you aware that of his health? Like, his health condition is not really good.
Sorry, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I think maybe you have to reach out to him. But let's talk about playing for Inter-Allies and moving abroad. How were you scouted? Tell us about your journey as a footballer.
It's a tough journey playing for Inter-Allies 2015 that time. I think my first time I was picked from Inter-Allies was when I played against Kotoko, FA Cup. in the final FA Cup game. Wow. I won the best player, best discovery of the year, which is best left back of the year.
Wow.
There in the club from Sweden, they picked me, which is AIK. They picked me from there. That's how my journey started.
Did you have a rough journey as a player, or you just got the opportunity to play for Inter-Allies? How was the journey to Inter-Allies like? Where were you back then before Inter-Allies?
Oh, trust me, it was a very, very difficult journey. And I was playing inter-school regionals in Tamale.
Tamale?
Yeah, inter-schools.
Which school was that?
I played for SPACO, which is SPAC and Volta region. Yeah. There in the Inter-Allies saw me and they liked me. They want to take care of me, take me to school, and that's how I started.
And back then, what was the struggles? Were you able to afford your equipment to buy socks, boots?
No, I couldn't. But the boss of the club in Tamale, which is Umar and Rabi, they take care of all this for us. They buy football shoes, everything for us.
Really? Oh, then that's impressive. So, Inter-Allies, you were with them for how many seasons before you moved abroad?
I think 1.5 seasons. I played the senior side. I was playing the second division, and then the next season they promoted me to the senior side. The senior side, I think I played 7 games, or 8 or so.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got your breakthrough move?
Breakthrough, yeah.
Some people play 4 years, 5 years without getting their breakthrough. How tough was it playing in the local league? Because a lot of people complain that the amount of money they make from their local league, their salary they earn, is just meager.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough playing the local league by then. But for me, I'm a hard worker, so I work hard, and I think that's what makes me move quickly. From different clubs.
Now, let's talk about your move abroad to AIK in the Swedish league. The first time you stepped down from the plane and you got to Sweden, what's running through your mind? Because you hear a lot of players tell their stories and they have interesting stories. What was yours like?
Yeah, for me, when I moved from here straight away, in my head, I know where I'm coming from and where I'm going. So when I stepped down to Europe, which is Sweden, I made up my mind that I have to give all out, and I did that. So that's why put me where I am today.
Well, you said that you knew where you were coming from. I want you to give us a mental picture of where you were coming from. Was it, did you school in the Volta? You said you schooled in the Volta region, and that is not the capital. So how was it like? Because back in Volta region, we know that the infrastructure was very tough, playing on the sandy pitches and stuff. At times, how was the struggles like? Give us a mental picture.
It's difficult playing in the Volta region. Like we play on the sand, like a rough surface. You know, sometimes it's very difficult. It's very difficult. That's what I can say.
Life at AIK in the Swedish league. Would you say was quite one that you enjoyed very well in your first season?
Yeah, my first season was not so good because I was a little bit younger. I just came. So the guy played my position, he's a captain. But the next season, I was aggressive, I played really good, and then they pushed the captain to the center back, so they put me on the left side. And from there, I got my breakthrough, and the same year, I got a contract from Granada, which is 2017 or 18. But I couldn't go because of misunderstanding between my agent and AIK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think since then it's really affected me a little bit. The next year I couldn't play because of this, because Granada was a big club.
Oh.
Yeah, it affected me because of misunderstanding between my agent and AIK. But since then,
life has been tough, a little bit good. Well, you are watching Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio. We're taking a short break, and when we return, we continue with the conversation. Welcome back from the break. My name is Joseph Adamafio and I'm here with Patrick Pilzo, the Black Stars player. Patrick, you were talking about life in Sweden, and whilst you were at AIK, you went on 2 loan spells. Give us an experience about that. What inspired that loan moves?
The only reason I go to the loan is when I got the contract from Granada, I couldn't go. By then I was naive, I was young, but I also want to move to a bigger club, which is when I couldn't go. It affected me a little bit. I couldn't focus for maybe some months. So AIK was like, okay, we need to send it on loan.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky that this coach, Graham Potter, which is coaching...
you don't mean it?
Yeah, he's my coach, which is coaching Chelsea now. He was like, this guy's a very good player. And he brought me. Like, he don't want a loan from me. He just want to buy me, you know. So he buy me from AIK to Ostrasund.
Really? You played under Graham Potter, the current Chelsea coach?
Yeah.
How was it like?
He's been a fantastic coach. He take us to Europe. We play against Arsenal, Atletico Bilbao, Hertha Berlin, PAC, a lot of big clubs. I've been to those games, but I couldn't play because I was new player. So.
Whilst you were playing under him, what was the strategy that he often liked to deploy you, like the tactics?
For him, he liked to play 3-back, 3-5-2. That's his formation. He liked the wings to always. Yeah, and if you're not fit, you cannot play on his team.
Yeah.
But he's gonna make it clear to you that if you can't go like this and defend good, you're not playing.
Really?
Yeah.
And till now, do you get in touch with him and hopefully you want to work with him again?
Yeah, sometimes we speak. When he went to Brighton, I congratulated him.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about whilst you were with Graham Potter. At that club, you scored 3 goals and 48 appearances. How were you able to do that?
Because for me, how do I say? My reposition, like where I love most is like wing back, which is 3-5-2. I love to. For me, I just
love to.
When you're playing right back and I'm playing left back, I kill you. I just go. That's why I was able to score goals.
Then from there, you went on another loan spell at IFK where you scored 6 goals, and within a short span, you have a good eye for scoring goals.
Yeah, that's the only reason is because when I play like a wing back, I score goals. Yeah, I score goals because I run a lot. I disturb my defenders a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever met a tough opponent that you realize that this attacker or winger is giving me a tough time on the pitch?
Yes, I did last year, which is Russia Sider.
Which player was that?
I can't remember the player name. It was really tough. Really tough.
Really?
Yeah. I think I met, is it Silva? Not Silva. I met a lot of players.
And Daryl also said that player was really tough on you.
Really tough.
From Sweden, you decided to move to Moldova. Why the decision to move from Sweden to Moldova?
Actually, when I was playing in Sweden, I got a lot of offers from clubs, but Sheriff was one of the favorites, which is they play in Champions League and Europa League. So I think it's a good opportunity for me to get this chance because every year they play Champions League or Europa League. That's why I moved to.
You said you got a number of opportunities, realized that they were playing in the Champions League. But what did the coach at FC Sheriff Tiraspol tell you before joining them?
When he called me, he was like, I'm a very interesting player. He'd like to work with me. What do I need? And I tell him what I need, and we got along.
Edmond Ado was there at FC Sheriff Tiraspol. Did you have conversations with him before you joined the club?
No, actually, but I had a conversation with another player, which is Basit. He's a striker. And he speaks good about the club to me. And he also influenced me to come to Sheriff, actually.
Okay, you came to Sheriff Tiraspol and you become a regular in their starting lineup. Tell us about the journey in the Moldovan League. Has it been tough or?
Yeah, it's been tough. When I arrived first, the guy playing the position, the left back, he's been consistent, playing Champions League every year. But I think In the league, it was like he's injured, he cannot play. So when the coach gave me the chance, that's it. He never play again.
Wow.
Yeah. So now he never play.
And since then, how do you feel playing week in, week out in the league?
It's been good. I'm a core member of the team, and sometimes I don't play the league. Coach don't play me in the league. He always play me the important games.
Really? Yeah. Wow, that's very nice, and to see how important you are to the club. Now, let's look at the Europa League, where you guys were pitted against Manchester United. What was running through your thoughts? Now you are a regular player, you are playing for Sheriff, you are going to meet Manchester United in the Europa League, double header.
For me, I think it's normal. The only the only feelings I have before the game was when it came to the news that me and Anthony, people were talking about Anthony's gonna kill me. There are a lot of news coming up that he's gonna kill me because in the first round, when they came to our home, he couldn't play his best out. But when we went to London, people was like, he's gonna kill me. This guy's nobody. And by that night, I couldn't sleep because of the news flying UK everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
Did that motivate you?
It motivates me a lot, but it makes me scared. My name is in the news everywhere.
Patrick Pozo, Anthony, Patrick Pozo.
And even that game, I showed to them that who I am.
One fan channel. A lot of people were talking about your performance in the game against Manchester United very well. I remember where I was when I watched the match. People were asking, who is this guy? Pozo. I'm like, you guys don't know about Patrick Pozo. And people said you placed Anthony in your pocket because they couldn't find Anthony in that match and all that. But tell us, playing at the Old Trafford, such a big stadium.
I think it's a good feeling as well. It's not only the Old Trafford. I've gone to Arsenal before. I've seen the fans, and I've played against a Roots Siders, which is also big, a lot of fans. You cannot hear anything, so I think it's normal. For me, it's normal for me.
Let's talk about random questions. And what do you make of Inter? The club you played before is currently in the lower tier of the Ghana League. They are no more in the Premiership.
Yeah, I think it's bad to hear that, but I think we cannot do anything about that. The only thing they have to do is focus and come back stronger. Yeah, that's all I can say to them.
When you heard the news of the unfortunate scandal that occurred about 2 seasons ago, did you ever believe it?
Of course, I do. I do believe it. And I spoke to the Omar as well. He told me the same thing. So, and he also said they cannot do anything. So we have to go down and come back again.
You believe they can come back because the lower league is not easy over there.
I understand, but for now they are first on the league, so they can make it.
Now let's look at players you look up to whilst growing up. Who was the player that you looked up to whilst growing up?
Actually, Marcelo. It's my...
Marcelo?
Yeah. It's my idol.
What about Marcelo do you like the most? He has good eye for giving silky crosses. His overlapping runs are also good. What in particular do you pick from him?
For me, his passes and overlapping and his crosses it inspires me. But his defending, I don't... I have my own personal defending, so...
Wow. Yeah, and in terms of defending, maybe aside Marcelo, who do you pick one or two tricks from?
Actually, Davies.
Davies? Yeah. The Dutch player? Bayern. Oh, you mean Alfonso? Yeah. Alfonso Davies. Yeah. Okay, I get that. But let's talk about also your aspirations in life. I know Sheriff Tiraspol will definitely not be your only or last club. You want to play at the highest level, which when you look to the future, what do you see? Where do you see yourself playing?
For me, I think I could play in the Premier League as well, or top clubs in Europe.
Yeah.
Because I have other qualities to do that.
And do you see that maybe in the next couple of seasons, maybe 2 or 3 seasons, you'll be there?
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
Okay, coming back to the Black Stars, the moment you were named in the provisional squad by Coach Otuado, definitely I'm sure that you'll be working on your fitness level and to improve on your performance and all that. But when the final squad came and you were not there, were you disappointed that you didn't make the World Cup squad?
Yes, of course. It's every player's target to be in the World Cup. But of course, if you're not in the final list, you'll be disappointed. But you cannot do anything about it. The only thing you have to do is come back and work harder, and maybe the next one, maybe it could be inside. Yeah.
Looking at the Black Stars, your position, the left back position, there are players there. You have Gideon Mensah, you have Babaramba. It's competitive. How are you going to make sure that you cement that role as yours?
For me, I don't care about anybody's how he play, or for me, I only care about my abilities and waiting for my chance. When I got my chance, the whole Ghanaians will see if I deserve it or not.
Yesterday, when the Black Stars played, or on Thursday when the Black Stars played, fans traveled all the way from the Volta region to come to Kumasi. What did it mean for you?
That I could say it's amazing. When I see them, I feel like crying. It's really touched my heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you aware? Did they tell you were going to do something like that?
No, I was not aware. Actually, I was not aware. Before the game, like around 10 o'clock, they start sending me pictures that they are here to support me. It's really amazing.
And life at Aflau said you are the second star to come from there, aside Willie Kluche. Do you feel humbled by that?
I feel humbled.
What would you like to tell your people?
I would like to tell them that they should keep supporting me, and I promise I will not let them down. I'll make sure that I'll raise the name Aflau higher.
And lastly, who's your favorite musician in Ghana?
Musician. I have all of them. I listen to all the musicians.
And in terms of your favorite food, what's the go-to food for you before matches?
For match, rice, I think.
Rice
with sauce.
With sauce.
With
that's
chicken.
it.
Yeah, chicken.
And how do you prepare for matches? Do you listen to music or read? How do you prepare for matches?
Actually, I always listen to music. I have my this Bluetooth big speaker that I always play in my room to motivate me to be in the mood for the game. Okay,
before we go, I'm sure definitely there are young players looking up to you who definitely are growing up from Volta region, want to be in the position that you are. What would you like to tell them as word of encouragement not to give up?
Yeah, what I would like to tell them is they should never give up. When they focus on playing football, they should focus on playing football. And they should keep working hard and they will see the results.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure interviewing you.
You're welcome.
Well, that will be it for Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and I interviewed Patrick Puzo, the Black Stars left back who plays for Sheriff Tiraspol. Thanks for watching. Until then, see you in the next one.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now, back canopy. Susu sang pine, Pia want to Nambia, a man in quite baby. Mommy, you face can see about Kotoso. Pepoga, send me Mr. from Lemonade Finance. While Brian did the shade and let me £2. Lemonade Finance. Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Exchange waiting in Suya. Unbeatable. We should make promo code Dr. Like £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. What is send this guy a coffee? Download to Lemonade Finance.
I'm in Benin and I'm fortunate to have witnessed the Vodou ceremony here in Benin, Gogotipon, right here in Gogotipon. So let's experience and learn everything about Vodou here. So let's go, guys.
At Gogotipon we have a lot of Vodou if you want spirituality. So we have two community spirituality here. This one is to protect all the community. Okay. And when this one, the Zambeto, want to do his ceremony, yeah, he have to go to salute this one who have to protect him and all the community. It is what he's doing now.
Right. Okay, so
he's
going to ask permission.
to ask permission before taking her stand here.
Okay. You come here.
Yes.
Yeah. So we just saw them. They came to pass, but apparently they are going to the major voodoo to ask permission before coming to the people gathered here and perform for us. So I'm waiting here for you to experience everything here voodoo has to offer. Yeah.
Zangbeto is the guarda of the night.
Okay.
Keep the night to protect the village against the bad spirit or against the bad bad people who can enter the village to do some bad things in the village. So in the old time, there were no we don't have any police station policemen to protect people. So it's the voodoo, it's this Zangbeto who go out in the night time to do the protection. Okay. So now in our day there is a policeman, but now they use Zangbeto to do some ceremony and some demonstration. Yes.
Just like they're doing now.
Yes. So there's a big festival, big spectacle now.
So this is just a small festival.
Yes. They started yesterday and today again.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm lucky.
You are lucky.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Thank you. I'm
very lucky woman.
So Auntie think I'm very lucky because it's my first time here. On the normal day, they don't do the ceremony in March. They do it in December, right? In December. Yeah. So if you want to experience this voodoo festival, it's usually in December, but the spirit has dawned on them to do it today. So yeah, it's my lucky day. Yeah. So let's go to the ground and let's see what's happening. Or is being controlled by the spirit?
They can't have somebody inside because we are here in matter of spirituality. Okay. It is a magic system that our ancestors, if I don't know, our old parents take to protect our community. So when you open it, you have nothing to see. Maybe animals, it is finished. Or you have anything to see, like a man, like similar of a man. So when you want to ask them to open it, you ask them, and they do the demonstration to you. Okay. That. But when we are doing our scene, they said like you can't go there and open yourself. You can't do it because it is impossible to have a result, to have a goal.
is locally called Voodoo, which is originated in the Dahomey Kingdom, which is present-day Benin and Togo. Every year in Benin, locals celebrate the Voodoo festival in tribute to the indigenous religion that worships natural spirits and reveres ancestors.
At the end of a good day at Gogotepo in Benin.
Yeah, I witnessed it. I saw what is under. There's no human being under. It's actually a spirit. So it was like a god that was under.
Yes, it is a spiritual thing you can't explain logically.
Yeah.
It is a magic system that it is a cultural activity for the community. So now we are at the end of a full day at Gogotepo with this dance of Zambeto. It is the Voodoo. It is a cultural act, a cultural practice of our community. It is a situation, a spirituality to protect our community. So when you see it dancing, doing movement, you have to think that you can think something is there to move the whole thing. No, it is a spiritual, what you see. When you open it, you have to see nothing inside. But when you let it down, it moves itself. Okay. Excuse my English. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Would you love to explore this festival in Benin? Let me know in the comment section. Until next time on my next video, I love you all. Bye. Mwah.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana Digital Agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
-18. If you're in the hall, kindly step down and move your car. You block somebody. GS 9144-18. Thank you. Now, Sabalego SHS, you are cited in paragraph 804. Honorable Aka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You paid an amount of money to one contractor. They call it, what's the name? Benny Praise Ventures, for the supply of answer booklets. But these were not supplied. And the auditors are saying that we must make sure that these answer books are supplied. And in lieu of that, you have to pay for the difference. What have you done about it?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So when it was detected, we wrote to supply the supplier, and the supplier have supplied all the answer booklets to the school. Thank you, sir.
Okay, auditors, can you please confirm these booklets have been supplied?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the entire 2,000 answer booklets have been supplied by the supplier.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you. That'll be all for Sabalego SHS. You are discharged. Let's have Kalpohin SHS. Kalpohin. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
What I'll do. Headmistress of Kalpohin Senior High.
I am Frank Yeboah, accountant, Kalpohin Senior High.
Thank you very much. You are cited for delay project. And not much information about the project. It's just about construction of 2-story, 12-unit classroom block. And that's award date 2017, October, and it's supposed to be completed, no, August, supposed to be completed October 2017, but I'm sure this might be an error. You can't use 2 months to put up a 12-unit, two-story classroom. Construction of two-story, 12-unit classroom block. You can award a contract in August 17, 2017, and expected to be completed by 31st October 2017, 2 months. No, it's not possible. Get Fund is the source of funding. The amount, the project sum is 900,920 Ghana cedis. And the auditors are saying the delay is caused by lack of funding. What is the state of this project now?
Honorable Chair, the actual date for commencing of the project was on the 17th of August 2015, and the expected date of completion was supposed to be on the 17th August, 31st August 31st August 2017. That was the actual date supposed to be completed. The building is about 90% complete. That is the state of the building for now. We've written to Get Fund through our regional director for the contractor to come on site to help us ease congestion in the classrooms. The contractor is saying it's lack of payment. That is what is withholding him for now.
Yeah, so, Director, project is 90% complete, and so we cannot delay this further. 2017, 5 years down the line, we are now in 2023. So, GS headquarters should do something about this so that Get Fund can complete the project on time. Now we should be calling Get Fund to some of these meetings because the head has no control over it. All right, so that'll be all for you. You are discharged. Tamale SHS. Tamale. Are they in? Please come forward. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee. Sit down.
I'm Daran Nathaniel Kur from Tamale Senior High Accountant.
Okay. Paragraph 834. Honorable Kisi.
Chairman, this has to do with procurement and store irregularities. The amount involved is quite huge, 198,000 Ghana cedis. And per the processes for procurement, we breached it. And I think Chairman would probably decide on the way forward with this one. So, Chairman.
Yeah, the recommendation is that management of the school should ensure that
Entity
they have a
tender.
procurement plan approved by the entity tender committee. So, Mr. Accountant, you procure without a procurement plan. You have been advised to ensure that you prepare plans. Now, do you now have procurement plan in place?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we now have it in place.
Auditors, can you confirm that your subsequent visits can confirm that they have a plan which they follow?
Yes, Honorable Chair, we can confirm that.
That will be all for Tamale, your discharge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's have a Kumbungu, SHS. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
My name is Josephine Mayang, Kumbungu Senior High School headmistress.
My name is Atim Dem Caesar, Kumbungu accountant.
You are certain paragraph 838. Honorable Sophia will take it.
Thank you, Chairman. Paragraph 838, procurement of items not budgeted for. And the items here is 34,789. The auditors recommend that the headmaster and accountant should be sanctioned in accordance with Section 96 of the Act. I think so. So, have you sanctioned the headmaster and accountant? What sanction were you giving to them? You should let us know. That's what the auditor said. He said they should sanction the headmaster and the accountant. So did you sanction yourself?
Well, that is not something that she will be doing. The recommendation is that the headmaster and the accountant should be sanctioned. So I'm not sure that they will sanction themselves. And they are to be sanctioned according with Section 96 of the Act, which they cannot do. But have you followed apart from not budgeting for the items that you procure, did you follow the procurement process that is involved before you procure?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We did it.
So you didn't have budget for those things. Why?
What happened was that it was an emergency. We had finished with the budget, and there was a problem in the school. We had water issues, shortage. The pipes were not flowing. Then we were given computers to be installed, and they advised that we should get some air conditioners for the computers. And then the other one was that we were invited to participate in a national program, and we didn't have uniforms for our cadets. And all schools were to be part. So we couldn't have gone there without uniforms. So we made consultations with our board, and we prepared a supplementary budget for that.
You prepared a supplementary budget?
Yes, please.
Did you show the supplementary budget to the auditors when they came?
Yes, we did.
All right. Make sure that you budget for, you do the plan and budget for them so that you don't fall into the same infraction again.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that will be all for you at this church.
Thank you very much.
Akangums, good to see you. Chairman, he was my junior at Sandema Secondary Technical School, the accountant, and my constituent. This is my territory.
Let's
so
have
obviously I'm everywhere.
Bimbila SHS. Bimbila SHS. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
I'm Bukari Ahmed, Headmaster Bimbila Senior High School.
I'm Al-Hassan Ibrahim Husseini, Accountant, Bimbila Senior High School.
Your issue is about the delay projects. One project, that is Danny Hall. Project has been abandoned. The project is supposed to be completed by 2016. And as of 2020, 6 years down the line, the project had not been completed. Now, the reason, management could not give any reason why the project has not been completed. And what is the status of this project?
Mr. Chairman, the project is still not completed.
What stage has the project reached?
It's about 85%.
About 85%?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So it means that the project has been roofed?
Yes, please.
Wow. So, Director, Internal Audit, again, I'm sure by now you've taken note of this. This is not the fault of the headmaster or the school management. They don't have any control over it, but we've called them to come here. We are sorry for disturbing you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
But we are only doing it for your good. At least your issue has come to the attention of the headquarters. So we hope that they will do something about it. We will make a recommendation on all these issues for Parliament to approve. Yeah, Honorable
Chairman, you made a very interesting observation, and I think that it is worthy of being pursued. Because all these get fund related projects and all of that, they are outside the powers of the heads of these secondary schools. So I think in the future, we should look at a situation where the schools should not be cited and dragged here to come and respond to funding challenges to do projects that they have no authority over. Because, I mean, they travel all these distances to come on matters that they don't have the power to deal with, they don't have the resources to address, wasting time and precious resources. So I think I support your idea. We should pursue it, so we can relieve them of that additional burden.
If it is possible for the auditors, such projects to be added to the national headquarters, so that when they appear before us in Accra, we can tell them that here, willing see here, this project, what I did, you can create it. I think it will help, so that they will understand that these are the number of projects outstanding. Instead of putting them under inviting the schools, it should rather be added to the national headquarters, so that when they appear, we'll put it across to them and see how best they can assist and complete those projects. If it's possible, I think that will be fine.
All right.
Alternatively, Mr. Chairman, I think we can also ask Get Fund, to be present at our meetings, because they may not also be able to know, the various stages of completion and all that. So maybe at various sittings, Get Fund can also be present, to address some of the concerns.
Another way is to call the Get Fund to appear before the committee, whilst we put all these things before them. All right, so look at it. That'll be all for Bimbila. SHR, you are discharged.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Chair, on the projects, I think if the auditors can compile them and forward to GS, Director General, there's a unit under the ministry that is in charge of all projects. Then they can look at them, and when you invite us, then the GET fund can appear in Accra. So that it will be once, instead of following us throughout the regions. Yeah. So the headmasters will be left off the hook. Thank you.
All right, so it's left with two schools. They haven't taken the oath yet, so they will take the oath now. Tamale Islamic SHS. Do you have Tamale Islamic SHS here? What of, is it Dabokwa? Dabokwa Technical Vocational Institute. Are you here? Please step forward. And then Savulugu School for the Deaf. So, clerk, administer the oath to them.
I swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give before this committee touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. So let's start with Dabokwa Technical Vocational. Yeah, please take your seats and introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. Mahama Mariama is my name, Principal, Dabokwa Technical Institute, Tamale.
Mutaka Taminu, Accountant, Dabokwa Technical Institute.
Okay. All right, so you are cited in the report, paragraph 847. Completed project not in use. Now, the project is residence of the principal, which has been completed but not being used. Is the project being used now? Please use the mic.
Thank you, Honorable. Yes, please. It's been allocated.
So you are the one using the project now?
No, please. A subordinate.
A subordinate, okay.
Yes, please.
So because of that, you are here. All right. Auditors, can you confirm that the project is now being put to use?
Honorable Chair, the project is now in use.
All right, that'll be all for you. You are discharged.
Thank you, sir.
Savulugu School for the Deaf. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Nora Nasu,
Headmistress, Tablugu School for the Deaf.
Reverend Paul Idrisu, accountant for the school.
Now, you are cited for accumulated utility debts, that electricity, to the tune of 152,909.56 Ghana cedis. Now, management explained that the outstanding bill were as a result of late and insufficient release of funds by the government. The auditors recommended to management to liaise with the Ministry of Education to seek funds to settle the debts to avoid disconnection. What is the state of this debt now? Have you been able to pay this, or you have not since then, 2020, make any payment?
Thank you, Chair. We have been able to pay some, but it's not sufficient.
Okay. How much did you pay since 2020?
We paid 17,000.
17,000.
Yes, please.
But you are consuming more. So what is your current
Consumption.
bill as at December ending or as at March this year?
196,000.
As at
2020, December 2020.
December 2020. I'm talking about December 2022 or March 2023. What is your current bill?
Mr. Chairman, we, out of the 150 from 2020, we are able to pay 17,000, and the bill kept accumulating.
Yes.
So as I talk to you, we owe VRA 196,000.
Yes, I want to know the dates of that bill, the 196,000. Up to what date?
That is up to date. The current bill.
Current bill?
Yes, sir.
But it's not today. It might be at the end of March or whatever, because they bill you monthly or at the end of every month. Is it up to March 2023 or February?
No, it's 2022, December.
December.
2022,
That's
December,
what I want to know.
sir. Yes, sir.
So as of December 2022, you are
Yes.
now owing 196,000.
Yes, sir.
Is it because you will not be receiving funding for payment of the electricity bill, or they give you the money and you misapply it to something else?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't remember the last time they gave us money for electricity bill. However, last year, November, some money was given, even though it's not sufficient.
So, have you had any threat of disconnection by NEDCO?
Yes, please.
How do you handle it?
They made us to write an undertaking indicating that we should be prepared to pay some amount. And then we were able to raise some amount to pay.
To pay?
Yes.
How did you raise the money?
The money was released by head
Director
office. General.
Okay. Director, internal audit. As we saw the other day, the trend for the bills keep rising, which is not good enough. We know consumption of electricity bill, you cannot be current in the payment. Definitely there will be some bills because it is billed in arrears, not in advance. So definitely there will be bills at any point in time. But if the bill, the rate is going higher, that is why we have a challenge. And if they owe 152 in December 2020, and in December 2022, it has increased to 196, we are afraid one day they'll be disconnected. So, clerk, take note. This is strengthening our position of making a recommendation for the ministry's inability to release funds for payment of electricity or utility bills. Auditors, can you confirm that at least some 17,000 was paid since December 2020?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that.
All right. That'll be all for you. Your discharge.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Is there any other school left I've not mentioned? Is there any other school left? Well, that brings us to the end of the sitting of the committee here in the Northern Region, Tamale, to consider the 2020 report of the Auditor-General for pre-university educational institutions, as well as technical universities, and the two reports from the assemblies, the IGF and then the Common Fund reports. We are ending our sitting here, and I want to thank all who made it possible for the committee to have a successful public hearing. I'm referring to all the people invited, the municipal and district chief executives from the 5 regions in the northern part of the country, their coordinating directors, other directors, as well as the heads of the schools, the Deputy Minister for Education, Director, Internal Audit, regional directors, and all other people, especially our secretariat and members of the committee. I thank you very much. The committee sitting is adjourned to Monday. Monday's date is what? 17th. Monday, 17th April 2023 at 9 o'clock, no, at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. The committee sitting is thereby adjourned.
I'm at the Labadi Beach and my oh my, the traffic. I can't wait to get inside and experience the fun everyone is watching in for. Now, join us find out what Easter also means to them.
Everything was good. We thank God. Yeah, it was great. But their food is so expensive. I'm not trying to buy it. I am catching on to so my gate when see there, I'm saying buy it. Gate when you go back 50 cedis. So tell them to reduce everything.
Now Easter, what does Easter mean to you? How do you understand Easter?
Is it the resurrection of Jesus?
So personally to you, how do you understand it?
Easter is to celebrate God's resurrection and have fun. So that if he dies again, we shall bury him together.
Yes. Okay, so have you made any resolutions from this Easter celebration?
Darby.
You have it?
No. It's going well. It's going well. I just came, so I'm now coming to start to do something. It's only about the gate fee. Because it's a lot, that's why.
So what do you plan on doing here today?
Have a little swim with my friends. We have our small banku and shitobi, then we just,
Okay. So when we say Easter, what does it mean to you? How do you understand Easter?
It's all about church. It's all about Jesus Christ. The death and the, how do you call it? The rising of Christ. And that's what I mean.
You were in church yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so from what you heard at church, or from what you heard so far, what are you taking from Jesus' death?
I need to stay focused in my life. I need to know how to move, to do my things. Christ will be coming back. That's the whole issue about this Easter.
And yes, baby, I did. A man moved here and convinces her into how Ubema winning I had the ping pong because so because if you there and then you want to consume.
The boss, good Easter.
What's it?
Good Easter.
Easter. Oh, media Easter dear. Media baby.
Okay, so he is saying that there's hardship everywhere. So whether business is good or not, they'll just continue going on, keeping on, and believing that things will get better. He also doesn't celebrate Easter.
I've never seen a beach quite this busy before, but I'm excited to be here on the holiday.
Okay, so do you celebrate Easter?
Well, I was brought up a Catholic, and Easter is a celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm agnostic now, but I appreciate that this is a really important holiday for Christians.
I have an idea because I'm a Catholic.
Okay, so how do you understand this?
Well, Jesus died and rise on the third day. Yeah, that's what I know.
Anything you have taken away from the fact that Jesus came to die and resurrected for us, all because of our sins? Anything you are living your life by?
Well, I try to be as a best version of myself. Treat people as I wanted to be treated. Not necessarily has anything to do with Jesus or not, just try to be a very good person for my country, to my society. The kind of work I do require me to be a good person because nobody would like to travel and meet a bad person. So yeah, something like that.
How are you celebrating the holiday today?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
Then how do you understand Easter?
Oh, Easter means it's, I'm not that much into the religious belief, but it's a good gathering day with family and friends.
Okay, so what do you plan to do today? What do you plan on doing today?
We're on a tour today with Kasami Tours, and we're doing Jamestown, we're doing the marketplace, we're doing all sorts of tour events, including here.
Okay, so I believe you're enjoying yourself in Ghana.
Oh yes, this is a week ago today I landed here, and I'll be going home tomorrow, but I'll probably be coming back during the rainy season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your stay.
Thank you, appreciate it. Have a good day.
It's a celebration there, and him say, use no be we and yes, was sorry. Internal. And that's your holiday, they know say, Pierre cry, this will be one my to buy about the Jenica. To me, no, my understanding is say, wow, we pay a bonnet and my name by Bintino. So I pay a bonnet my until as time goes on, we change from a name of Biania and now I continue with a good life.
Like Yajankwa, every wood, Ejiankwa, every pie a bonnet, that's why a bonnet. And I chum like that twice on that twice what Damien San is on. What's a barbecue like
The two gentlemen believe that Easter is all about the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ, and it's all about the forgiveness Christ had for us and the love he had for us. So they are going to live lives that are worthy of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. You've heard it all and seen it all. Revelers are happy and celebrating Jesus Christ for sacrificing his life for the sins of mankind. Now, what does Easter mean to you too? Let us know in the comment section. My name is Abigail Johnson Boache, reporting for GhanaWeb.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now, Mommy, you first can see about Kotoso. Peboga, send me sick from Lemonade Finance. While Brian did the shit and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Exchange waiting in so ye. Unbeatable. We should make promo code Dr. Like £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. With this Sunday cigar akofino, download to Lemonade Finance.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us in Washington, D.C. for the World Bank Group and IMF Spring Meetings 2023. I'm Noriana Fernando, your host for today's event, Building Resilience and Reshaping Development, a conversation between World Bank Group President David Malpass and IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva. It has been 3 years since the start of the pandemic, and the uncertainties and risks still weigh on the global economy. The poor and the vulnerable are the most affected by inflation, the cost of living crisis, and slower growth. And the effects of climate change and the war in Ukraine continue to disrupt lives and livelihoods around the world. Now, these spring meetings are focused on these global challenges and how we can respond to them to promote growth, equity, and prosperity for all. President Malpass and Managing Director Georgieva will discuss these issues during the next half an hour. Now remember, you can share your thoughts on these topics at any time using the hashtag #ReshapingDevelopment. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn with simultaneous interpretation in Arabic, French, and Spanish. Now to kick off this week's public programming, I will hand it over to President Malpass and MD Georgieva.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are starting off the week of meetings of the World Bank IMF meetings, the IMF World Bank spring meetings, with a big agenda. We want to talk about the world economy, about the debt problems facing developing countries. But the overall theme is how do we get better outcomes for people around the world, and especially for people that are on the lower end of the income scale, people in developing countries and people in middle-income countries and advanced economies that are suffering from lower incomes and from the costs of climate change, for instance. And so that's the thrust of the spring meetings. And I wonder, Kristalina, IMF does a lot of look at the global economic outlook. We are worried about the slowness of growth now and the prospect that it might stay slow. What do you think, and what are the big challenges?
Well, David, let me first thank you for honoring this tradition for us to start the meetings week together. You're right, we are yet again assembling our membership at the time of high uncertainty. The recovery we so much are hoping for, a robust recovery, is still a bit elusive. Why? Because we do have a significant inflation problem. That means central banks have to continue to keep interest rates higher to combat it, and that is on the way of restoring the prospects for robust growth. We have seen that this rapid transition from low interest rates, abundant liquidity, to high interest rates and much less available liquidity has exposed vulnerabilities in the financial sector that made the task of policymakers even harder. So in that context, what we are projecting for this year is, despite the remarkable resilience of consumer spending in the United States, in Europe, despite the uplift from China's reopening, global growth would remain below 3%, as we projected it earlier this year. And what is more concerning, it would remain around 3% for the next 5 years. That does not give us high hope for meeting the aspirations of people, especially poor people around the world, and most importantly, poor people in poor countries. Let me stress 3 issues in that context. The first one is that this picture of growth is divergent. There are emerging markets that are doing better. But for frontier markets, for the poor countries, the future is not so bright. And in terms of income per capita growth, poor countries would remain below income per capita growth in middle-income countries. Dangerous divergence. 2, we have been wrestling with one crisis after another, one shock after another. And that has pushed on the back burden the longer-term agenda of structural reforms that are paramount to uplift productivity. And with productivity remaining low, the prospects for growth are low. And 3, the ropes that tie us together have become weaker over the last years. Fragmentation is deepening, and what it means is that what has generated tremendous impetus for growth and prosperity over the last 3 decades, an integrated economy, is being negatively impacted. We have done research at the IMF that shows that just the costs of trade fragmentation can run as high as 7% of global GDP over the years. So these meetings are an opportunity for us not only to talk about the immediate priorities of restoring price stability and safeguarding financial stability, but also about the longer-term prospects of growth and how prosperity can be an achievable objective for the lower income countries. Which takes me to you. How do you see that?
Exactly right. And as we look at it, the elements of growth into the future, it's important that there be more investment in small businesses, in new businesses, and that means a flow of capital. And a worry that we have for developing countries is the capital flow right now is out of developing countries. So for many of the developing countries, it looks like they're in a phase of decapitalization rather than recapitalization. That goes with your point that instead of having convergence, meaning people with lower incomes growing faster than people with higher incomes. So convergence toward a higher level, that's not happening right now. It's actually a divergence, and that's gravely concerning. That means inequality, that means fragility for countries, and we see more countries falling into fragility. One of the concerns with high prices now, high prices are being applied to food and fertilizer, and a concern for the poorest around the world is the farmers are not able to plant, and if they don't get fertilizer, often they won't plant for the crop cycle because they know that their yields will be too low. And so an urgent need, and we've worked on this over the last 6 months, but it's still has room to come together, is that the fertilizer resources go to the people that can pay the most, and that means those farmers are providing the global crop supplies. And so that's a challenge. Right now, for example, wheat supplies globally are at a low level. China has substantial stockpiles, but most of the other countries have drawn down their stockpiles, and so that points to a period of strain on global food supplies. I wanted to pick up on your point about the trade fragmentation. So as we think about that, trade is vital to productivity within the world. People swapping goods in their village, within their country, and across borders is a way to add value, to create more productivity. And to the extent that that breaks down into regional blocks or protectionist blocks, that's a concern. And right now, that's the direction of travel for the world. As it looks to stop the globalization and to reverse it, the risk is that it will come out with unproductive structures, and that also will weigh on world growth. And I guess I'll finish on your opening point that just the move from very low interest rates, I think artificially low interest rates, and the capital allocation that went with it, meaning investors all over the world were making decisions based on the idea that it was 0% interest rates for a long period of time, low for long, and that misallocated the capital. So to bring that back to productive uses is really hard. If you say, well, we're going to keep the interest rates at current levels or go to a more normal levels of interest rates, that means losses for banks that had a duration mismatch, as we saw with Silicon Valley Bank. And so there's losses being allocated by the world system now, but we should keep in mind, if you just lower the interest rates back down, it won't solve the problem. What that means is that people will suffer from inflation. The dollar weakens, the inflation rate goes back up, and that hurts the poor the most. So I think there has to be a goal of finding a low inflation environment and dollar stability for the future.
Very much agree with that. Central banks do have a preoccupation to bring inflation down. And it is paramount because without price stability, there is no sound foundation for investments and for growth. Their job has become more complicated because of the exposure of vulnerabilities in the financial sector. That means attention has to be paid to financial stability. Fortunately, they have different tools they can apply to deal with these two different problems. They can fight inflation by keeping interest rates higher for longer, and they can provide targeted liquidity should there be a need to bring down risks to financial stability. What we have seen is a remarkable, rapid and effective intervention by policymakers, primarily central banks, but not only. Financial authorities, supervisory authorities, regulatory authorities. Once there was a problem exposed, they acted swiftly. And this is very different to what happened during the global financial crisis. So there is something to celebrate. We learned a lesson, we act on it. However, when we look into the future, the problem that you outlined, allocation of capital, it has to be recognized that without the confidence that productivity is going to go up, how does it go up? It goes up when there is effective investment in education, skills development, adaptability to changing labor market needs. It gets up when there is effective investment in research and innovation, and it goes into private sector performance. It doesn't stay locked into monopolies that only have access to these new discoveries. And productivity goes up when division of labor that trade provides is effectively energized. I do hope that as we have these meetings to talk about the immediate pressing priorities of price stability, financial stability, we will pay more attention to how the world can go into a higher growth path. I apologize.
This is vital to the world. Getting the growth rate higher is important for people's jobs. It's important also for the migration patterns of countries. You know, if we're in a world where people have to migrate to other countries in order to have access to capital, that is a challenge. And they're being pushed by climate change. They're being pushed by their own countries having domestic debt problems. And so that pressure is substantial. So I think there's an urgency to the